Attention passionate Chicago, BARS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago, BARS. Let's get to the news now, folks. The NFL offseason just keeps delivering surprises, and this one might just be the most shocking yet. Rumors are swirling, reports are flying, and the NFL community is buzzing about one of the most electrifying defensive players in the league, Micah Parsons, requesting a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, you heard that right. Micah Parsons, a player many considered a cornerstone of the Cowboys' defense, now finds himself in the middle of a potential blockbuster move, and the team that's suddenly capturing everyone's attention as a possible landing spot: the Chicago Bears. Let's take a moment to process this, because it's not every day you see a player of Parsons' caliber, a guy who's been a defensive force since he entered the league, asking for a trade. It's a seismic shift in the NFL landscape, especially in the NFC North, where the Bears are looking to re-establish themselves as serious contenders. But why would Parsons want out of Dallas? Well, a lot comes down to the ongoing saga between Parsons and Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. It's no secret that Jones has been vocal, perhaps too vocal, about his thoughts on giving Parsons an extension. And honestly, those comments haven't been exactly encouraging. In fact, Jones has expressed some hesitance, or even frustration, at the idea of paying Parsons what he's truly worth, which has been a point of contention. You see, Parsons isn't just any linebacker. Since his debut, he's been a disruptive force, a game wrecker capable of changing the course of a game in a matter of plays. Through 63 games so far, Parsons has amassed an incredible 52.5 sacks. That's an astonishing number, folks. In a league that's obsessed with pass rushers, Parsons stands out as one of the very best in the business. His ability to get after the quarterback is second to none, and he's been a huge reason why the Cowboys' defense has been so formidable in recent years. But now, with this trade request, everything is on the table. And here's where it gets even more interesting. While the Cowboys have publicly stated they don't plan to trade Parsons, the whispers suggest otherwise. If Jerry Jones continues to dig in and refuses to pay Parsons what he's owed, the player might push harder for a move. And let's be honest, in today's NFL, if a player like Parsons is unhappy, it's almost impossible to keep him against his will, especially when multiple teams are interested and willing to make a move. Now, some teams have been tossed around as potential landing spots, like the Washington Commanders or others in the league, but honestly, the Chicago Bears make an incredibly compelling case. And I want to tell you exactly why. If the Bears are serious about elevating their defense and truly becoming a playoff contending team, acquiring Parsons makes perfect sense. It's a move that could reshape their entire defense overnight. Think about it. The Bears, as of now, have a decent pass rush, but they lack that consistent, game-changing presence that Parsons could bring. They've made some moves on the defensive line, like acquiring Dayo Odeyingbo, who had a solid 8 sacks in 2023, but he's not quite on the same level as Parsons. And Montez Sweat, across from Odeyingbo, has been just okay, with 6 and 5 sacks in the last 2 years. So why not go all in and bring in a player who has proven to be elite? Parsons isn't just good, he's a game wrecker. His ability to get after the quarterback, to pressure the pocket, and to make plays behind the line of scrimmage is almost unmatched. Plus, adding him to the Bears' defense could be a game changer, especially considering the current state of the roster. The Bears have a lot of offensive weapons, especially with their young quarterback, Caleb Williams, who has shown flashes of brilliance. But to really make a deep playoff run, they need a defense that can carry them in critical moments, and Parsons could be that guy. And let's not forget the history of trades like this. When the Bears traded for Khalil Mack from the Oakland Raiders, it was seen as a bold move, but it paid off in many ways. Despite some struggles in the playoffs, Mack's impact on the defense was undeniable. The Bears had one of the top defenses in the NFL during his time, and that kind of impact is exactly what Parsons could bring. If the Bears can pull off this trade, they could instantly elevate from a good team to an elite one, a true dark horse for the Super Bowl. And with their offensive arsenal, led by a promising young quarterback and talented receivers, adding a player like Parsons could be the missing piece to turn their season into a deep playoff run. Now, looking at the broader picture, this move would have huge implications for the NFC North. The division has been competitive, with teams like the Detroit Lions emerging as serious contenders and the Green Bay Packers always lurking with a talented roster. If the Bears manage to acquire Parsons, they would significantly boost their chances of not just making the playoffs but competing for the NFC title. That's the kind of move that sends shockwaves throughout the league, forcing rivals to rethink their strategies. It would also change the perception of the Bears, from a rebuilding team to a legitimate contender, especially on defense. But what about the financial and draft pick implications? Well, in terms of trade value, it's likely to be a significant haul. The precedent set by the Khalil Mack trade, which involved 2 first-round picks, a third-rounder and a sixth-rounder going to Oakland, gives us a good baseline. For Parsons, who's still relatively young and at his peak, the Bears might need to include a couple of first-round picks, maybe a second and some additional assets. The NFL trade market is always complex, but the end goal is clear. Acquiring Parsons could be a franchise-altering move. And now, let's consider the potential on-field impact. Parsons' presence on the defense would allow the Bears to deploy more aggressive schemes, blitz more often, and create chaos for opposing quarterbacks. His ability to line up on the edge or inside gives defensive coordinator Alan Williams tremendous flexibility. With Odeyingbo and Sweat on the line, Parsons would be the perfect complement, turning the Bears into a nightmare for offenses across the league. Imagine the possibilities: Parsons coming off the edge, forcing quick throws, or dropping into coverage to disrupt passing lanes. The entire defense would become more unpredictable, more dangerous. And it's not just about the pass rush. A player like Parsons helps everything else fall into place. The linebackers behind him would benefit from the chaos he creates, making plays all over the field. It's a domino effect that could elevate the entire unit, making the Bears a top-tier defense once again. And given how much the Bears have invested in their offense, especially with Caleb Williams at the helm, having a defense that can hold opponents and create turnovers is crucial. Parsons' addition could give the Bears that extra edge they need to become a true playoff threat. Of course, there are questions and risks. Will the Cowboys really trade Parsons? Will the Bears be willing to give up enough draft capital? And how will Parsons fit into the team's chemistry and long-term plans? These are questions that only time will answer, but one thing is clear: if the deal happens, it could be one of the most impactful trades in recent NFL history. It's a move that would send shockwaves through the league and set the tone for the Bears' future. Now, looking ahead, fans should be excited. The potential of having Parsons rushing the quarterback, disrupting plays, and energizing the entire defense is tantalizing. It's the kind of move that can turn a good team into a Super Bowl contender in the blink of an eye. And with the Bears showing signs of progress, this addition could be the final piece to push them over the edge. The NFC North might be shifting, and Chicago could be at the forefront of that change, thanks to a bold move that's still just a rumor now but has everyone talking. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And finally, folks, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think the Bears should go all in and push for Micah Parsons? How would you feel about giving up some draft picks for a player who could be the cornerstone of your defense for years to come? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. This is an exciting moment for the franchise, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and analysis, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. Thanks for being with us, and as always, bear down.